Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to my hungry athletes worldwide. This is your coach Chaz coming to you live. I was just staring at the screen for like 10 minutes before I record this podcast. I'm just like, you know, this is going to be an important message, but I also didn't know how to say it. And so if you already are subscribed, go ahead and just share this with your friends. Leave a review. This is how you let other people know to find the podcast wherever you're at. But I just want to get into this. Growth's gonna hurt. And this next podcast, the next podcast is gonna be a check-in. I wanted to get something good for you guys on Monday, but growth's gonna hurt. Growth's gonna hurt whether it's in your spiritual life, whether it's in your physical life, you're trying to get in more shape, your friend's life where you're adopting new friends or you're trying to get to new friends, or even your love life, say you're trying to deal with something new, or say you're dealing with somebody, or even you're trying to pursue somebody, or just however it is. Growth is gonna hurt. Growth's gonna hurt. Growth isn't necessarily always fun, and it might seem like a great process. It might seem like it's like, oh, it's all sunshine, and it's, oh, you're gonna be able to, it's gonna be all Instagrammable moments. Growing is not all Instagrammable moments. Growing is a lot of sweat. It's a lot of tears. It's gonna be a lot of heartbreak. It's gonna be a lot of disappointments. It's gonna be hard, to say the least. To say the least, anything that you're gonna want to grow in is going to be hard. Anything that you're thinking is worth pursuing is going to be difficult. And so if you accept that little fact, if you accept that fact that, hey, I know what I'm going through is going to hurt, but I'm willing to go through it. I'm willing to put in that time. I'm willing to do this thing so that I could put my next generation on, or I could put my mom on, or put my father on, or retire my peoples. You know, when you do these different things in your life, it will take time, it's going to take energy, and it's going to require you to sacrifice some things that you previously had in your life. And so if you had a very comfortable life beforehand, say, you know, your mom and pop together, you know, you got some good siblings, you know, you don't got to worry about your next meal, you don't got to worry about what's happening on your birthdays or Christmas holidays and stuff like that. You don't got to worry about none of that. You know, it comes from a very privileged place. When you leave that comfortable place, you have a whole 24 hours ahead of you. You have a whole 24 hours. You have the rest of your life ahead of you. And when you have a lot of things open, you have a lot of options. But when you have a lot of options, it becomes hard to choose. And so the reason I'm telling you this part is because once you become free from something, once you become free from school, free from somebody who's toxic, free from a really bad schedule or a bad job, any of these things, when you become free, you're going to get some more free time. And when you get that free time, you're going to have to figure out what you can do in your time to make your life better. And so you're not going to be able to always do the thing that you did when you were 15 or even 18, 25, 30, or even 6. You know, you can't be the same person you were 6. Can't be the same person that you were when you were 15 or 18 or 25, any of these ages. I'm 25 years old. I can't do the stuff that I did when I was 18. I can't do the things that I did when I was 20 or even 21. You know, this process that I'm going through is going to require me to have constant upward motion, constant upward momentum. You know, you want to push yourself to be as strong as you can be in your 20s, in your 30s, because after that, your body just declines. You know, your body's going to decline naturally. And so why not make yourself in the best shape that you can in the present, so that's not difficult when you're trying to get in shape 40, 50, when you're 40 and 50. Like, it's not easy. Like, you seeing buff grandpas or buff grandmas at 50, 60 years old, it didn't just happen like that. They took that time in their lives. They took that time, whether they had a background in sports or they had an issue in their lives where they had to get waken up. You don't want to get slapped and waking up by somebody else or by your own body because you were abusing yourself. Imagine waking up and you just wake up and you break something. You break your ankle, you break your knee, and it was because you didn't keep your body in shape. Do you know how sad that would be? That you just hurt yourself on accident because your body wasn't prepared for a motion that you do every single day? Can you imagine that? At 40 years old, 50 years old, you're just walking out of bed. You just hurt your hip. Bro, that would suck. That would suck. And so I want you to know this growth, if you want to be a buff grandma or grandpa, you're going to have to work out. You're going to have to pay attention to your health. Not only what you do with your body, but what you put inside your body. You know, you got to be careful with all that stuff because not every company that sells to you wants you to be the healthiest. They want to put money in their pocket. Just like you want money in your pocket and you want to put your people on, they're doing the same thing. And they don't care the methods that they get to it. They don't care that it comes at your expense of your health. These tobacco companies, these sugar companies, these juices or sodas, PepsiCo, they don't care. They're trying to get their money. And they will continue to do so. And so the brands that you used to love, that you recognize, hey, I don't know if I can deal with that anymore. I don't know if I can just support that company anymore. You know, make that decision. Make that decision and make that who you are. You know, make a decision to stand up for what's right. Make a decision to put other people on, to build the bridges. You want to be able to build bridges with other people so that when those times of growth, those times of heartache in between the growth, they happen, you can fall and your heart can rest. You know why? Because I understand what it's like when, you know, you don't got an answer or you don't know what's happening for the next day or you just anxious. You know, I know that feeling of anxiety. It's in the body. Sometimes in your chest, sometimes you hold it in your chest and it makes your heart beat fast or it makes you sweat or it has your thoughts going all around the place. I know that feeling. I know that feeling. And that comes from uncertainty. And so if you're uncertain, you got to make it certain. You got to schedule your day. You got to get right with some people. You got to talk out. You got to talk it out. You got to talk it out and you got to walk it out. You know, and if you're not doing these things, that anxiety is going to stay right here. It's going to stay in your body. It's going to stay in your chest. And you're not going to be able to do anything with it except let it stress you out more, burn more calories. And you're going to have a even worse pattern of thinking right after because you didn't handle it in the right way. So there's anything you guys can do, you know, like find your support system. Find your support system for when that growth, when those periods of you having to grind, you get in the nitty gritty, that they're there for you and that you feel safe. Because if you're around your people, you know, we live in a pretty good society where, you know, we're safe from the outside worries such as the weather. Like we don't have to worry about the weather for most of the time of the day. We're outside or we're inside like an AC, like it's basically like an AC box or a heated box. Our homes, our apartments, our workplaces, we're really blessed. And so you don't have to necessarily deal with inclement weather or rain whenever it's raining. You know, we're not getting wet every single time it rains. You think about that? So if you as a person need more care, you need to talk it out more, you need more singular space where you have to get out your home so that you can find that space so you can find that peace, do what you need to do. Do what you need to do because growth hurts. And if I can just speak on my life, it's like I'm trying to just do my best. Do my best for the people out there. And I'm trying to do my best to make sure that my family's good for when I get older, that my generations after me, that they're good. But not only the people in my family, but the kids who went to school with me, the kids who saw me go to school, or the people who knew my friends or their siblings of my friends. You know, I'm putting on for people like that. And it's not necessarily the easiest. You know, I have some really good friends. I have some really good driven friends. And those people, they push me because they're pushing themselves. You know, they understand what it's like to have uncertainty in their lives. They understand what it's like to grind. They understand what it's like to give your life to something, you know, give your heart to something. And those friends I appreciate, but we're not in the same wave right now. You know, I don't necessarily have a job. I don't necessarily have constant income coming in. Like, I work for the camp because I love the camp. I love the camp because it gives me a vehicle. It gives me a vehicle to not only express myself, but to literally put my hands into the teens of Boston's lives and help them grow. Because being a teenager is not easy. You know, these kids have only been on the earth for 12, 13, 14 years. They're still learning the waves. You're still learning the wave too. And so being able to do that gave me a really good outlet to be able to express myself and help other people. But those outlets won't always come to you. They will not always come to you. You'll be blessed to have a job that you really love, for real. So I recognized I had to create my job. I had to create my lifestyle. I had to create what I said I wanted to be in the future. Having 500 podcasts out there, having multiple thousands of YouTube videos, being featured on many, many people's interviews, having people look to me or look to my resources and be like, yo, we need a little bit of help. That's the goal. That is the goal. And you won't always have an outlet to get your goal. You won't always have an outlet, a physical outlet from somebody else to achieve your goal. And so you got to imagine that shit. You got to dream it. You got to want it. You got to believe in it too. You really do. You got to believe in yourself. And I've had some times, especially now, especially the past couple of weeks, where I didn't necessarily believe in myself, where I was necessarily breaking my own heart. You know, breaking my own heart. You think about that. Sometimes we break our own hearts with the stuff that we do. Sometimes we just put too much expectations on how things are supposed to be going, or how we're supposed to be feeling, or how people are supposed to treat us. You know, those things that are going on are going to add to your spirit. What you're going through right now will add to your spirit. The growth isn't always going to be fun, but it 100% is worth it. And so if there's anything you get from today, growth's going to hurt. You're going to hurt. You're going to feel it too. Just accept it. Find your people, find your support group, get close to some good friends, make some new friends too if you have to. But the growth that is waiting for you is not going to be fun. It's not going to be sunshine. It's going to be hard. It's going to be a little difficult, but it will 100% be worth it. I appreciate you. If you listen to the podcast all the way, everybody knows if you listen to the podcast all the way, those last couple minutes are going to be the most impactful. But yeah, I'm just going to be out because I want to get this to you guys as soon as possible. I appreciate y'all. Stay positive. Stay blessed. Peace. Amazing. Amazing pod.